Before we start, I want to let everybody know that if you're interested, feel free to support the Patreon. There are 4 tiers, and all of them provide different benefits for each person. So, feel free to support, and thank you so much. Hey guys, so a lot of you guys have been asking me to make more videos about my manga and my characters in my manga. So this is why I'm going to be doing this new series called Meet the Character. Basically where I just talk about a singular character in my story. And this one will be doing my main character, Malik, and answering some questions, doing a breakdown about who they are, the personalities, what they do, pretty much giving you just more info and insight about the character, you know. So hope you guys like this series, and let's begin. Malik is the main MC of my story, and he stands about 5'8" to 5'9" in height, and weighing roughly between 125 to 130 pounds. Malik grew up in what we would call the countryside in our world. He didn't see big cities too often, he wasn't around a lot of people, and he was raised for the majority of his time as an only child. Now I got a few comments, people asking me, is Malik a self-insert character? And I would have to say no. When I think of a self-insert character, I think about a character that's pretty much identical to the author. Maybe they have a few changes here and there about how their character looks, but most of the time their character is a reflection of themselves. And while I do feel like I share similarities to the character, but I feel that way about all my characters. I think that I put a part of my personality, a little bit of it, in each character, even the girl characters. But Malik is a different character all to himself because I grew up with 2 sisters and he has no sisters, you know, so obviously he's the only child, I'm not, you know, and we also have different heights and measurements, you know, so that's why I don't consider him a self-insert character, but I do consider that all my characters do have a bit of personality that I share inside each one of them. Now in my world, magic is pretty well known, but there are categories of people in my story that everyone classifies as. Category 1 is subspecies. Subspecies are pretty much any kind of character or creature in the world that is not a human. I'll be going more in depth about my world and the world building in a separate video, not in this one right now, because there's a whole lot of stuff I want to get down in that one, but this one's only about Malik and his character. But just know that there are 3 categories, which are subspecies, humans, and of course magic users, which are humans who can use magic. Yeah, humans and magic users. Now for a long time, Malik thought that he was just a regular human, meaning he had no powers at all. But you find out later on the story that he just was a late bloomer and his powers were lying dormant for a long time. Most magic users show signs of magical ability when they're very young, usually around 5 or 10 years old, but Malik only started showing signs of magical ability at his big age. Now even though for a while Malik thought he was a human, he still was determined to find out what happened on his horrible night, the night that changed him as a person, the night that his dad, the only person who he knew for the majority of his life, was killed by a subspecies. But not just any subspecies, no, it's not like he was killed by an elf or an ogre. He was killed by one of the most feared species in the entire category, and that are demons. I would describe Malik's personality as humorously hot-headed, yet extremely brave. He tends to jump into fights without any plan, sometimes is the one who instigates the fights, talks a lot of shit but sometimes can't back it up. Even though he can't back it up all the time, he still doesn't back down, and that's a big factor of his character. Malik would rather get his ass beat than just say, nah, I'm gonna stop fighting, I'm gonna run away. He would never cower, if that makes any sense. You can kind of see some of that personality come out in the 2nd or 3rd chapter of the book where he does the exam, and he has a fight with this character named Jackson, who's pretty much he's kind of psycho, but he has a fight with him in the exam, and honestly, you can just tell, like, this dude's getting so mad at him because he just wouldn't stop fighting him, even though he was losing the fight. I think Malik is interesting because I tried to make him sort of a mixture between the MC but also being the comic relief. A lot of times the comedic relief character is a side character or like a best friend, but I decided to make Malik the comic relief character but also with the MC, even though some people have made it pretty vocal that they think Malik is annoying. That's okay because it's called character development. He will change throughout the story. While I consider Malik to be a comedic relief character but also the MC, it will be kind of difficult to balance that. I know some people like to have like the side character be like the funny guy, and then they have the main character be like a stone cold cool dude the entire time. But I decided to make my character different, meaning like he can be the funny character, but also he can be stone cold when he wants to be. I feel like that will give the character more personality, in my opinion, because I've seen too many animes and manga where the character was, yeah, he was powerful and awesome, and he had super cool powers, but he was like a boring dude. Like he had no jokes, there was no like personality to him. He was just a cool, overpowered character. Jinwoo, anybody? So while Malik is of course the hot-headed brave character, typical in shonen, he of course has one weakness, one thing that he can never face down, and that is girls, women, boobs. Yes, he gets flustered around that stuff. He can't handle it. Matter of fact, he would rather go toe-to-toe with a freaking demon god than face a girl with personality, I guess. Now he doesn't get scared around women, but he just like gets weak in the knees, bro. Like he kind of gets intimidated. Not to the point where he runs away like some MCs. He just doesn't know what to do. He kind of just blushes and squirms around and stuff like that. I got a few people asking why I decided to make Malik's design so simplified, and there's a real reason why I did this. Because of course, as someone who likes making characters, I can just go crazy. I can add all kinds of buckles and belts and loop-de-loops and flaps and folds and stuff like that, and give them all kinds of swords and weapons and all this other cool character design shit. But I didn't. I went more simple. I gave him something that still fits within the story, but also is awesome, I guess, in my opinion. And the reason why I did this is because, number one, when you're drawing a manga, it's easier to create characters and draw characters consistently over and over again when their design is more simplified and easier to actually draw. I gave him all this epic like armor and other stuff like that. I could easily do it, yes, but it would be a hassle to draw every single frame, every single panel like that. And because I love my hand too much and love myself, I decided to not put myself through that kind of stress. So that's the reason why I went more simplified. But also another reason is because I want to show his growth. This is not his final design. He's going to be very different by the end of the book. New drip, new look, like he's gonna look completely different, and I think it's easier to build a character up than to already have a character built up and just, you know, continue from there. Going more simple with the design was my best option because, like I said, I want to show his growth, and to show growth you have to show change, and starting him off with his epic stuff already would probably not be like the best in my opinion. Like I said, volume 1 Malik is going to look completely different from whatever volume I'd planned to end the series on, and it will be one of those things where you can see the growth of the character and how much they've been through throughout the entire book. So that's the reason why I went more simplified with his outfit design. Like I said, this is going to be a story about growth, a story about showing a character start from the bottom and build his way up. And in order to do that, I gotta show the starting. I gotta show like where he started from, you know? So what you're seeing right now is Malik, how his outfit will look in the next volume. Volume 2, which is being worked on right now. Hopefully that clears some things up on why his design is so simplified, and this is pretty much how it's going to be. But anyway, y'all, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to see more characters be, you know, described, little breakdown of them, let me know who you want to see next. And thanks to everyone who bought my book and is supporting the book on Patreon. And before you go, here's a quick slideshow of all the artwork you guys made of Malik during my Draw This in Your Style challenge that I hosted a few months ago, where I gave away some tablets and some money. Just some of the images you guys have made that are my favorites, and this was during the Draw This in Your Style challenge that I hosted a few months ago, where you guys won literal like gift prizes, like actual gift and cash prizes. So again, I know the competition was like months ago, but I just want to say thank you guys so much again. This really made my heart flutter, bro. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.